was going back and looking at the matchups between the Kings and the Warriors, and I have all the data from it. It just feels very difficult because I'm watching back certain games and in the fourth quarter of the Kevin Huerter Clay game where Clay,
right,
the refs thought that after reviewing it, what do they call it, the 2-minute report, that he fouled Kevin Huerter and the Warriors got away with one, I guess. They were up 116-113. I'm watching that fourth quarter. Anthony Lamb's playing like heavy minutes in that fourth quarter. And so it was 5 months ago. For both teams. It's not just the Warriors. I'm not sure how much these regular season matchups I can take away a lot from what happened in the regular season. And I don't think that's me diluting the regular season. I think that's me trying to be fair to both teams that they've evolved as the season's gone on.
Well, they played 3 times in the first 12 days of the regular season. Think about that. They played 3 times in less than a month of the regular season, October to November. So the Kings are completely different. The Warriors are completely different. Remember, Wiseman was on the team. GP2 was not on the team. Wiggins was around.
Ty Jerome was playing heavy minutes.
You still were dealing with the fog of what happened in training camp. Yes. Getting out to the slow start, things were a little awkward. So you can't really take anything away from the regular season matchups. What you have to go by is personnel and coaching tendencies. And the Warriors know Mike Brown's tendencies, but Mike Brown knows the Warriors' tendencies.
So now that you brought that up, that's interesting because I had written down one of my questions. What is the advantage then for Mike Brown? Like how does that play out on the court?
Well, Mike Brown, and really it's tough, but Mike Brown knows what the Warriors don't like to do.
Okay.
Mike Brown knows what the Warriors don't like to do defensively. He knows what individual players don't want to do offensively. Is that a huge advantage? Sure, he knows the personnel. He knows his team inside and out. Like, the thing with Don Nelson and the We Believe team that we don't really discuss is he knew that Mavericks team
inside and out.
Inside and out.
He knew
the
how
weaknesses.
To slow down Dirk.
Exactly. He knew the weaknesses of Dirk Nowitzki. He knew how to defend them. He knew how to attack them.
That's a good point.
Sacramento will know how to attack the Golden State Warriors, and somehow we'll play a little bit later with Steph and Curry discussing the defense that the Kings may throw at him. And it may be the box of 1. It may be a triangle and 2. He may throw janky defenses at Steph Curry to try to slow him down. You got to think he's got to try everything because when you look at Steph Curry and the advantage he has in a series one-on-one, the Kings have no matchup for him. Hell, the league doesn't have a matchup for Steph Curry. Not many people have had a matchup for Steph Curry. But if anybody knows how to maybe make life difficult for him or make him work for his points, it would probably be Mike Brown, Luke Laux, and Leandro Barbosa, the coaching staff of the Sacramento Kings.
You know, it's interesting you brought that up because I don't want to regurgitate regular season matchups, but if there's one trend or tendency that I do see that pops off, the greatest player on the Warriors, as in Steph Curry, goes nuclear against the Sacramento Kings. I mean, the first time he had 28 at half.
Yeah.
And then the second game, he has 47-17 in the fourth quarter.
47-8 and 8 in that game.
I keep thinking to myself, and I'm looking at talking about personnel, and I keep asking, like, who's guarding Steph Curry? How are they guarding Steph Curry?
Yep.
And I don't have the answer to that one right now, but I'm fascinated to see what they end up doing because I think you're right. I think they're going to throw a variety of things at Steph Curry. But part of the beauty of Steph Curry is he's kind of seen it and adjusted to it all and then adjusted again. And then, they've made an adjustment and then he adjusts back. But that's why he's one of the all-time greats.
Well, yeah, and he's always got a counter for your counter, right?
Yes.
The great ones have a counter for your counter. The great ones figure out a way to get it done. And obviously it all revolves around Steph. He's the best player in this series. You think about his history in the playoffs. It's kind of wild that he's 22-4 in best-of-7 series.
Wait. 22-4 in the
He's lost 4 playoff series in his career.
So, okay, let me just, I'm going to nail them. Spurs 2012, 2013. Clippers the next year in the Game 7 where Bogut was hurt. The Cleveland Cavaliers that one year, 2016. And then the Toronto Raptors in the finals.
Yeah, not hard. 22-4. He's lost 4 playoff series.
That's insane.
So, when we go into the series, and I kept wrapping my head as I'm watching Pels, Pels and Thunder, and I'm watching the Giants walk everybody and get their brains kicked in at Oracle Park. I kept wrapping around in his prime, because Stephen Curry is 35 years old, and I remember the years of Jordan in his 30s. He was dominant. He was not losing series. He was not losing playoff games. I don't like. Yeah, they were losing playoff games, but not series. I have a hard time believing that a team led by Steph Curry is going to bow out in the first round of the playoffs.
Why do you have a hard time saying? Because of just who he is and his status in the
everything
game?
we just cited. The 22-4 record.
Yeah.
The will to win. Chasing rings. You know, they're believing, they're lighting the beam. The Warriors are trying to win a ring, right? They're trying to win a ring. The Kings are lighting beams. The Warriors are trying to win rings. And Steph Curry's trying to enter an echelon in his career where it's like, it's no doubt Steph Curry's going to be a top 10 player. There's no, hell, he wins a championship this season. He may enter top 5 territory in some people's minds. But I don't want to get to the rankings or whatnot.
I think
but it's just
I think you're right.
It's just how to navigate the game. His IQ, as he continues to navigate throughout his career in playoff series, his IQ becomes sharper. He's seen it all. He's seen all the defenses. The preparation that Toronto gave him for what's probably going to come on Saturday with all the janky defenses is a great experience for him. Seeing the triangle or two in the box and what, okay, this is how you defeat that. Oh, you want to trap me? Sure, I'll give the ball to Draymond Green. We'll play 4-on-3 basketball. Now I have Klay Thompson and Andrew Wiggins back, who, by the way, we'll get into some sound about him. Everybody says he looks good. So we'll get there. And if he looks good, that's a great development for the Golden State Warriors. But just looking at the matchups, and, you know, everybody's bringing up Davion Mitchell. And I'm trying to think, who can guard Stephen Curry on the perimeter? Is it Trey Lyles? I don't think so. Is it Harrison Barnes?
I keep identifying Trey Lyles as the guy who's going to try to get under Draymond's skin.
That's a good point. Draymond or Klay Thompson.
Oh, I didn't. Well,
maybe Klay Thompson. Yeah. Who knows? But I'm looking at Davion Mitchell. Okay, he's 24 years old. He plays 18 minutes a night. Can the Kings afford to have him out there for more than 18 minutes a game? Not with the way he shoots.
No.
I mean, think of it. Look at his numbers here this year. He's shooting 45% from the floor, with just 32 from 3. He's not a great shooter. So I don't know what the Kings have in store, because if you let a star player in these playoffs go crazy, it makes the game easier for everybody. We see it time and time again in the NBA playoffs.
Yeah, I agree with you. And the thing that I keep coming back to is spacing and their defense, because we've documented pretty heavily that we don't believe that the Warriors' defense was great this year. And I don't think that that's an outlandish statement. They were, by metrics, better than the Kings this year on defense. Right? Which is kind of crazy, because I think most of us would say regular season, one of the weaker Warrior defenses that we can remember in recent memory, right? Outside of the play-in teams. So, I keep coming back to space and pace. And so you're bringing up Curry. I'm thinking here, B, and you tell me why. We haven't brought up Jordan Poole's name at all week. Why do I feel like this is a Jordan Poole series? There are certain ones that are maybe a little more physical or a little more mucky that I don't know necessarily. Not that he's not going to have a point to make in those series, but this one feels like a Jordan Poole series.
Well, we got into Jordan Poole a little bit earlier in the week. We'll get there, because
alongside Curry,
Jordan Poole is going to be an X factor. Obviously, you need a scoring punch. You need what he does off the bench. Jordan Poole is going to have his work cut out for him defensively, I think. I think the Kings will try to pinpoint him and try to attack him at will and get into his head.
When he's on defense.
When he's on defense. Gotcha. But one thing Jordan Poole's got to do, and the rest of the team, leave the referees alone.
Yes,
leave the refs alone. Do not talk.
Agree.
You know, just
totally
you don't, because Jordan Poole, the issue that he has on the floor, and he's a dynamic player. I mean, he is special. He has special talent, man. You can walk in as a starter and score 25 a game. You're a very good NBA player.
Yes.
You know, people just scoff at the 25 a game. Oh, I need 25 a game. And it says 25 points a game is 25 points a game. Mm-hmm. If anybody could do it, everybody would be doing it.
He's one of the 47 players to score 20 or more this year.
There you go.
It's not a long list.
And he had probably the most challenging season for the Golden State Warriors in terms of bench, playmaker, score, facilitator, combinations. Who am I playing with? Who am I not playing with? Am I on the floor with Curry? Am I not on the floor with Curry? Am I on the floor with Klay? All that stuff goes into play. Jordan Poole is going to get his, I believe, in the series. He's going to get his. And his ability to get to the free throw line, I think it's going to be very important for this team in this series. Because the one thing the Warriors don't do is they don't get to the line.
No, they don't.
It is what it is.
Yeah, you're right.
But against Sacramento and the lack of rim protection that they have, Him getting to that free throw line slows this game down. It sets your half-court defense, and I think you're better off like that.
It's interesting that you bring up the lack of rim protection for the Kings. I'm like deep diving, and I'm looking at all. I'm trying to find where the advantages are. We know the Warriors tend to turn the ball over a lot, right? So the Kings are sneaky with the steals, right? The one area where they're not good at all are blocks, and then the opponent's field goal percentage in the paint. They're not good again, especially against the Warriors. This is one of those series where I could see them, and you see this with the Warriors a lot. We talk so much about the three ball. If the Warriors can make 17 or more threes, they win. And what about all those backdoors? When teams are overplaying you for the three-pointer, when the Warriors are at their best, they're going backdoor, they're attacking the rim. This feels like one of those type of games, those types of series where they can attack the rim. Because I'm looking at the Kings, you're talking about personnel. Who is their rim protector?
But they don't have a rim protector. It's just that simple.
I know Trey Lyles likes to yuck it up, and I know he likes to play physical, but is that his game?
They don't have a rim protector. They don't have a guy averaging more than half a block shot a game. They don't have a rim protector.
All over it. Look, you are in your bag.
No, they don't have a rim protector at all, and so that's why they don't have a very good defense. Like, do you really want to put Alex Len out there? Alex Len will get hunted, and be on a perimeter getting cooked. Do you want to put Rashawn Holmes out there? He doesn't block shots. He's a physical, try hard guy.
He killed Wiseman in a couple of like short spurts. Like, that's the other thing. Like, I'm looking at some of these old ones. Anthony Lamb was playing almost like the whole fourth quarter. I was watching the whole like if Anthony Lamb plays, we're in trouble.
I haven't looked at one of those regular season games as preparation.
I just wanted to see it.
Oh no, I get it. I
was trying to do my homework. I'm just saying
because they were so different.
I know, you're
the
right.
Warriors were so different. And think about that. We were in Niners territory. October and then early November is when they played.
I know, early November.
What is that? 1, 2, 3, 4. It's really 6 months ago.
Yeah, but I do believe that the style of the two teams is that maybe the Warriors run more pick and roll or whatever. It's going to be a very pleasantly viewable game for a lot of people because you're going to have a lot of passes. Like both teams are high up there in assists. Both teams shoot the three. You know that there are 5 players in this matchup. There are 20 guys this year who shot 200 or more threes. 5 are in this series.